Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so I did go on a little bit of a ranking spree today once again, and I ended up taking in total 4 champions up to rank 2 6 stars. Now I didn't take any of them up to rank 3 just because my rank 3 decisions are a bit on halt pending the rank 4 6-star rank up. So I'm kind of like waiting a bit cautiously to like 100% figure out what I want to do there, because Silver Surfer, Dr. Doom, or Hercules are all viable options, and I'm weighing out pros and cons. And that will obviously determine which class catalysts I kind of need to save and which ones I can use. That being said, I decided to rank up Overseer. It was a bit of a spur of a moment decision because at the time when I woke up, you can see how catalysts there in red. You can see that I had 35 minutes left to decide who I ranked up. And I picked up Overseer because I want to look deeper into the character. I'm not going to say that he's like great champion by any means, and neither I'm going to say that he's an awful champion. But I do feel that there could be something when it comes to Overseer. And yeah, I want to mess about. I want to give the guy a bit of a chance. And at rank 2, I think it is appropriate level for him to start displaying some of the better qualities that he might have. Now, the second rank 2 champion is King Groot. Now, King Groot has always been a relatively decent but albeit laughed at and meme champion because obviously his damage is absolutely pathetic. And now the buff, I know that a lot of people are still underwhelmed with his buff, but the buff did exactly what King Groot needed. It didn't change pretty much any of his functionality but one, which I'm going to discuss in a moment. And with that, I like him a lot more. But I also like that he is a champion that I can easily run with or without recall mastery. He's extremely sustainable. He's one of those champions, and in Cosmic class that is not common, that can completely get rid of debuffs on him. And at times it is quite important. For instance, if you're fighting Void, you will not have any of those debuffs on you. And I'm going to explain a bit more about King Groot once we're actually fighting with him, where his usability actually has changed significantly for the better. So the next rank up is Hood. And Hood is another buff that I know that everybody's most excited about Venom Pool. And Venom Pool definitely has the highest ceiling, but he also has a bit of a ramp up time. And I think he's going to be a good alternative to Venom in a ton of content, but I think for most of the day-to-day content, Venom is still going to be the better champion just because he has all of his utility from the very get-go. And he does not need to have like a full ramp up in order to be able to deal significant, decent damage. But when it comes to Hood, Hood happens to synergize with a ton of very cool champions like Kingpin, like Ghost, and even Mole Man gives him like ability to load bullets quicker, so on and so forth. And I do think that he has substantial bits of utility. Like he can go stun immune, he can nullify, he can detonate, he has bleed and shock. I like it. I like it a lot. And the last rank up is Falcon. Falcon is a champion I probably should have ranked up a while ago. In fact, a couple of weeks ago I took my Crossbones to rank 2, but I didn't take my Falcon up. And I generally do believe that we have started to see Falcon fall off the top meta a bit, just because of all of these champions with increased ability accuracy. And Falcon reduces ability accuracy by 100%, but if opponents have 120 or 130 percent ability accuracy, then, you know, he's not the safest option. That being said, I still think he's a great champion. Unfortunately, he's unduped, and that's kind of like one of the things that's holding me back a bit to take him to rank 3. Now, I do have a Skill Awakening gem. I'm just not sure if I'm willing to fully commit to giving it to Falcon and taking Falcon to rank 3. And I know that he definitely can very easily be worth it, but since I'm not in any kind of like high pressure situation, because I don't really need Falcon or anything in particular to clear content in game or anything like that, I decided to take Falcon to rank 2 and keep him at rank 2 for a bit. I'm going to play around with him more. I'm going to use him for cap EQ and some other things. And then I'm going to figure out what I want to do with Falcon. But now, let me showcase some of the fights. So first fight is going to be with King Groot. It's fully synergized. Now, one of the problems with King Groot is that his Man-Thing synergy is not working, which is kind of annoying. So for that, I'm using Crossbone synergy, which does nothing in this fight, because Crossbone synergy only works against hero champions. But that's why I decided it will also be interesting to take a look how King Groot does against a non-robot poison immune champion. Because in theory, that should be pretty much his worst matchup. Right? You can't poison, you can't keep the poisons active, and you don't get the extra burst damage, since that only happens against robots. But still, so here the start is fairly simple. We're gonna drop our like 3 level 1s, and you probably can finish the fight quicker if you don't. Probably can finish the fight quicker if you drop 1 or 2 level 1s, or maybe just skip those armor breaks altogether, because those fury buffs are more important than those armor breaks. Those armor breaks do have an amazing upside, though, of completely shutting down opponents' healing as well. Just like Overseer interacts extremely well with Despair and is able to completely shut down opponents' healing, so does King Groot, because, yeah, 9 debuffs, maxed out Despair, opponents have no chance of healing anything, so he's also usable for mitigating heal, considering all of those debuffs are permanent. Right, and now we're just gonna go for my level 2 here with 7 Furies. It's not the most amount of Furies, but we can still see that that level 2 does a decent burst damage, 6,000 something there. But in next fight, we're gonna see some even more impressive numbers. So here now, starting this point, the name of the game is pretty much just keep on the poisons, let them stack. So currently the poison sticking for 888. Not the smallest, it's not the biggest poison that you can get up with King Groot. You can definitely do even better and get even more poison. So I'm gonna go for another level 2 here because my Furies have come back. So we are 87 hits in the fight. I was pretty much at a full yellow bar before I dropped that level 2. So now I just need to wait for the regeneration to, you know, like put me back up. I'm gonna drop a few heavy attacks, pause those poisons, why not? And yeah, just keep them paused. So he's ticking for like what, 1700, 1800 per tick, so that's 3000 something per second, and another level 2 and the fight's over. I actually have gotten Winter Soldier down in like 90 hits as well. But obviously King Groot is not and will not be the hardest hitting champion. Or will he? Now, when you synergize him up fully, in some matchups, you can actually hit like a tank if you can have a fast-paced fight. And let me demonstrate you that. That's why we're fighting here against Captain Marvel. So we can't place poisons, we can't pause them, but what we can do is we can be super aggressive, and Captain Marvel's special attacks are shorter animations, so we can manage in more hits in the same amount of time. And she's a hero, so Crossbone synergy is helping me gain more Furies every single time. We can see that I'm already doing decent damage with the 6 armor breaks, so I'm going to go in for another level 1, even more damage, why not? And let's just try and stay aggressive. I want to build up as many Furies as I can. So currently we're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there, so let's just keep on attacking. I want to get a ton of Furies. 12, wonderful, 12 Furies. And we start with 14 because of the synergies that are giving us extra every time Malice activates. So here we go, let's go for a big level 2, 17k medium crit. That wasn't bad, but you can see that this special 2 did significant amount of damage. You can rewind it a bit. So you can see the hits themselves don't really do too much, but we have 1, 2, 3, I think 4. I think it was 4 triggers, so it was 40,000 plus all the actual numbers. So it was 60, 70,000 special 2 there. Not too bad. It's really not too bad. But next one's going to be even higher, I think, because I'm going to manage to get even more Furies, because now we're at 12, 13. So should be at about 15 Furies here. Or 16, 17. Here we go. Look at them numbers there. 13,000 per like each hit is the direct damage. And look at them, crits, 23k medium crit on King Groot. That's a rank 2 King Groot. That finish was so satisfying. Let's just rewind it a bit again. Let's do the last level 2 here. Take a look at those hits. All of them do 13,650. Absolutely awesome. Plus another like bunch from the physical damage, and that was a nasty combo from King Groot. So I don't know why people are disappointed with his damage. Yes, he's not the hardest hitting champ, but gosh, he definitely isn't the weakest hitting champ either. And then Hood at rank 2. Now, I'm not going to show the entire fight with Hood, because obviously pretty much all of it consists of you building up the bullets. And another thing is that I know that everybody likes to build up a ton of bullets and have a massive detonation, but in regular quests, you can just keep on detonating at your own kind of pleasure. There's absolutely no reason why you keep on stacking them. It's not like a damage multiplies. So you can feel quite free to just drop heavy attacks every 5-10 bullets or something like that, just to be able to deal kind of like more substantial bursty damage. But obviously everybody likes the big numbers, so that's fine as well. And I'm not running like Mystic Dispersion, and obviously Winter Soldier doesn't have any buffs, but even with all that, you can see that I'm getting to level 2s extremely quickly thanks to Invisible Woman synergy. I'm gaining 10% of a bar of power every time I phase, and also thanks to Hood's signature ability itself, where whenever I use a bullet whilst he's invisible, I have a chance to steal opponent's power. And yeah, so I'm gonna quickly fast forward here with Hood, but we're all here just to see one number and one number in particular, right? So I think it's gonna be here very, very soon now. Now we have 60 bullets. I have loaded 5, very good. I need to go invisible before I want to detonate them, because then I get 50% attack increase from Strife synergy. And also, energy vulnerability is going to help me to do even more damage. But here we go. Let's drop it and let's check out the damage. So, how much damage? I think that was an overkill, by the way. 295,000 damage. So, 295 would account for 55% of his health. And he had 54. So, that was just about on point, actually. So, yeah. There we go. Nice. 295k. Very easy, very straightforward. Total 117 hits. Again, not the quickest killer, but still not too bad. And here, the last champion's Overseer. And Overseer, I feel like at rank 2, his reach is a bit too short. What you would want from Overseer at a rank 2 level is about 400,000 health pool, which is perfect for Act 7 and Act 6. But it's not that great here, because we're going to see that I'm going to be at a good pace, dealing plenty damage. But unfortunately, I'm just going to run out a bit short, and that will make the hit count look quite bad. So anyway, so I have 6 gamma charges, and at this point I can just start start using as many light attacks as possible. Because every time I drop a light attack on Winter Soldier, I'm dealing that extra 4,900 per hit. I still have that decently chunky Fury active. Now, one thing with the Overseer that it is a bit annoying is that you do more burst damage, punishing his heavy and special attacks with a higher sig. And my Overseer is only sig 40 at this point. So his damage could still go up if I had him at a higher sig level. But you know, it's not too bad either way here. As a rank 2 with a class disadvantage, unfortunately we can see that my cosmic power mode has ended, and I just need to get back in it. But I made a mistake in this fight. I should have baited out a special attack from Winter Soldier, because it's important to me that he crosses his power threshold. But still, putting in work. And yeah, having 7 debuffs automatically placed on Winter Soldier is also kind of neat. I'm not going to complain, because again, 7 debuffs is exactly enough to completely negate any and all healing opponents might have. So he does have that going for him, just like King Groot does. And now we're going to see that I'm just going to finish off the fight. But yeah, this wasn't like the most impressive thing ever. That's why we're going in against Captain Marvel, and that should be a bit better now. Against Captain Marvel, again, I just need to build up to 6 gammas, but unfortunately, I'm going to activate my Power Cosmic with 5, so I'm not accessing my max damage output here. But at the same time, it's kind of like how standard fights for most part would work out with Overseer. Still, we are dealing a decent amount of damage. You can see 5k extra per hit, and you know, it's not nothing. It's not nothing, definitely. I must admit, I did hope that Overseer is going to be hitting a bit chunkier, but we'll see. Time will show whether this was a bit of a waste, or, you know, at the very least, I'm going to have a bit of a fun. And on the bright side, he does have really, really good synergy with Immortal Hulk. That gives Immortal Hulk immunity to reverse controls. And yeah, that alone is also quite useful. So there we go, rank 2 Overseer. And now I need to enter my Power Cosmic once more. Now I get 4 gamma charges, so it's not fully charged Power Cosmic, but still we should be doing A-okay. And I think this fight is going to be finished with just about like 100 hits, or maybe slightly over. Oh no, slightly under. So, there we go. 98 hits for Captain Marvel. And the last rank up is Falcon. I'm not even going to show all of this fight, because with Falcon it's quite boring. It's and this definitely isn't like the matchup where Falcon can showcase the most of his damage. First of all, he loses a bit of damage because he's unduped. Second of all, for like real amount of damage, you need any fight, any matchup where he can start building his cruelties, ideally against evaders. He doesn't do bad damage, by no means, and we're going to see that in a second once the fight's over, but it's also nothing overly exciting. You just need to wait out whenever lock-on is on cooldown, then reactivate it. I think in this fight I pretty much land every single hit but 2 on Winter Soldier whilst Falcon is having lock-on active. And it's just a very straightforward, steady fight. Nothing really changes, just same numbers. You can see 8k mediums, 5k lights, 22k guaranteed crit on level 2. And we're gonna finish at, I think it's 105 hits or something like that. So it's not horrible, and definitely his damage would be higher if he was awakened. But you know, still not too bad. But damage output is not why anybody ranks up Falcon anyhow. Right, that is it for this video. Again, this wasn't really meant to be like a significant showcase of those champions. I will upload individual videos on some of these, but I'm still behind. I need to make a Diablo showcase without Liquid Courage Double Edge. I need to show Mr. Negative showcase. And there was one more. I did make Ultron one. But yeah, anyways, I have a ton of videos to get to, but one day. See you soon, guys. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about